This is Ron Higgins with TigerDetails.com. I'm outside Tiger Stadium. It's getting on a little bit later Saturday night, and it was a good day at the office for the LSU Tigers against unbeaten and number 7 ranked Ole Miss. LSU with a 28-0 second half just beat Ole Miss badly, 45-20. This was never a game after halftime, and frankly, it was the best half of football I've seen LSU play easily since the 2019 season. Easily. It was total domination the second half by LSU. Ole Miss's second offensive series after LSU took a 24-20 lead. It really told the story of the rest of the game. Jackson Dart, Ole Miss's quarterback, threw an interception into the end zone that Joe Fouché picked off, but the pass was left short because Micah Baskerville just flew in from the end and blitzed him and forced him to throw it up and throw it short. And that was kind of the story of the rest of the night. I mean, talk about unleash the hounds. Harold Perkins Jr., just Brian Kelly's big old attack dog, just went after Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart the rest of the night. LSU had, I think, 3 or 4 sacks on Dart. Had 6 quarterback hurries. It seemed like a lot more than that. LSU just completely dominated the second half, especially shut down Ole Miss's offense, which came in as one of the best in the nation. And Ole Miss, like I said, they got shut out in the second half. And LSU picked up steam. This is now typical of the LSU team we expect this year. Start slow, figure things out, come up with a key drive in the second quarter when LSU's fading. They're down 14-3 and fading 17-3 and fading fast, and all of a sudden Jayden Daniels gets hot. Okay, Jayden Daniels was 3 of 6 passing for 17 yards in the first quarter. The second quarter he was 9 for 9. The guy that started like 3 of 6 finished 21 of 28 for 248 and 2 touchdowns. And ran for 3 touchdowns and 121 yards. I think there's no question that LSU's quarterback for the rest of this year and maybe next year, if he chooses to stay, is Jayden Daniels. Jayden Daniels. Sorry about that. He proved it again tonight. Another great performance. He has a tendency to start slow like the offense does, but when they get steam, they're pretty dynamic. And the best part about it was that LSU didn't self-destruct today. They caught punts. Didn't fumble a punt. Caught punts. That was like the best stat all day. LSU didn't fumble a punt. Didn't fumble a kickoff. Only special team screw up if anything, they offsides on the opening kickoff, really. When LSU can avoid stuff like that, they don't dig holes. The only really first quarter problems they had really was they had three pass interference penalties on Ole Miss's, I think, second scoring drive to go up 14-3. Practically just gave them the touchdown. But after that, LSU kind of cleaned up stuff up. And Brian Kelly told his team at half, let's just clean some of the stuff up, we'll be okay. LSU had the ball first, opened the second half. They didn't score, but they got it back and then just went on a tear. I'm not going to say, LSU's tied for first in the West. And I'm not going to be just go on the bandwagon here and say, they're going to win the rest of their games or blah, blah, blah. Listen, this is the same team 2 weeks ago here that walked off of basically an empty field and most of the crowd was gone and the crowd who was left wasn't here happy anyway. This is the same team that 2 weeks ago did that. And tonight, the fans, flooded the field, the student section. It was a party. Goalpost didn't go down. LSU guards their goalpost really well. Good security behind the goalpost. But 2 weeks ago, LSU was in a dumper, and now they won at Florida and they beat Ole Miss here, number 7 ranked team. And so suddenly, LSU's on the uptick. Now they have an open date, and they play Alabama, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But the whole thing is that you really do play these things one game at a time. You don't project that all of a sudden this team that looked awful 2 weeks ago is a championship contender. You can't say that. Not in this league. Too many things happen from week to week and quarter to quarter, actually. And this team Sometimes you just don't see things coming with them. A lot of times like after the game tonight, talking to another writer, we kind of decided LSU's highlight film of the year should be titled, I didn't see that coming, because not with this team. You start to see some more consistency, I'll say that. And Jayden Daniels, after the first quarter today, when he looked like the Jayden Daniels pre-Florida game last week, when he held the ball too long and missed receivers, he kicked it in gear the last three quarters and played tremendous. So LSU can be a pretty good football team when that happens, and they were tonight. Ole Miss was unbeaten. They were a good team, not a great team coming in. Played a weak schedule. Didn't close out games against Tulsa and Auburn. Struggled a bit against Vanderbilt. And their schedule was in question, especially a non-conference schedule, and it kind of showed up tonight. Not to say they're a bad team, but honestly, they really hadn't played anybody. And maybe they thought they weren't playing anybody in LSU, but LSU is a little bit battle-tested. They've been through this stuff so far this season. They played some pretty good teams. Tennessee was pretty good. Mississippi State's pretty good. Florida can be feisty. And so credit LSU for getting better every game. Credit Brian Kelly for just going with his plan, sticking with it, keeping people calm, and trying to improve every week. And we'll see what happens in 2 weeks when Alabama plays here against LSU. And I'll be here 2 weeks from now. In fact, I'm just going to sit right here on this spot for the next 2 weeks until I get to do this again, okay? Because there's still a traffic jam here, honestly. All right. Final score, 45-20. Just, who would have thunk it? See you next time.